Hope you're doing well. And now, if you don't mind, we're going to get to the news. President Trump began a speech at a Georgia high school yesterday by saying, quote, "I'm here to announce my candidacy. I'm only kidding." That's smart. They say when you give a speech, you should always open with a jump scare. In the same speech, President Trump said the communists want to take down Mount Rushmore and added, quote, "They want to blow it up." I guess he forgot how much high school kids like watching explosions. You just created 200 new communists. President Trump also said that Democratic Senator Jon Ossoff reminds him of Pinky Herman. Do you mean Pee Wee Herman? Well, I think we know today's secret word. After Arizona held its Republican primary on Tuesday, President Trump said yesterday that MAGA candidates had a complete sweep and added, quote, "The Democrats are dumbfounded." What? It was a Republican primary. Democrats weren't running. Are they also dumbfounded they lost to Spain? President Trump met today with the Los Angeles Dodgers to celebrate their 2025 World Series championship. It's his favorite part of the job, getting photographed with the winning team. Honestly, we may need to invent more championships just to keep him out of trouble. Mr. President, there's no time to invade Canada. The Super Bowl of Cornhole champions are here. During an event yesterday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that President Trump frequently calls him in the middle of the night and will start the conversation by saying, quote, "I didn't wake you, did I?" Which is also how Bessent starts the conversation in meetings. Trump administration recently began canceling grants to teen pregnancy programs over concerns that they encourage premarital sex because, as we know, Trump believes that all sex should be extramarital. European Union regulators today imposed a $1 billion fine on Google for using its dominance as a search engine to promote its own services. If you don't believe me, Bing it. The fast food chain Burger King announced this week that it'll be rebranding its managers as Your Way Champions, as opposed to what Burger King managers used to be known as, English majors. Like, how did we think it was gonna go? Researchers in Pennsylvania released a study this week that found that monkey brains can do geometry. They figured it out after being completely hustled at pool. And finally, authorities in New Jersey arrested a Florida man this week after he allegedly barricaded himself in an RV parked at a Walmart with a flamethrower. And I think I just won monologue joke bingo. And that was a monologue, everybody. We got a great show for you tonight. Got a good one. She's a groundbreaking talk show host, very funny comedian you know from A League of Their Own, Sleepless in Seattle, and many more. Her one-woman show, Common Knowledge, is playing at the Daryl Roth Theater right here in New York City through August 8th. Rosie O'Donnell is here tonight, everybody. You know him from House of Guinness and Happy Valley. Currently, he's starring in the third season of House of the Dragon on HBO and HBO Max. James Norton is joining us. Before we get to all that, senators grilled Pete Hegseth over the Iran war while Trump snapped at a reporter for asking him if he had a plan to end the war. Oh, and Elon Musk is making an AI version of the Odyssey. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. When Trump won in 2024, his victory sent a clear message. The era of woke was over. No more genderless potato head dolls, no more banning Dr. Seuss books, and no more asexual M&Ms. That's right. Thanks to President Trump, it's okay to want to candy again. Or at least the green M&M. I would stay away from Milk Duds. They live up to their name in the bedroom. Me, I like sex two ways. Good and plenty. You know what? On the count of three, everyone say the candy they most want to have sex with. 1, 2, 3, Rolos. Okay, you guys weren't as ready for it as I was. I totally get it. We'll circle back. Point is, America's back, baby. No more woke. And that applies to movies, too, like Christopher Nolan's Pinko Commie Woke Fest, The Odyssey.
The most famous warrior in history, not just Greek history, all of history, Achilles, is about to be played by a transgender woman in a brand new movie. Playing Helen of Troy, the woman who started the Trojan War, a woman who was definitely white, is going to be played by Lupita Nyong'o. And I've got nothing against Lupita, but I do have a problem with the complete rewriting of history. Elon Musk has been tweeting about this all week long. He just said Christopher Nolan is pissing on Homer's grave. It's disgraceful.
This is cultural vandalism, is what they're doing, historical vandalism.
What will speak most is the fact that nobody's going to go see this woke movie, and it's going to be a box office bust, and they're going to make zero money on it.
Yeah, how dare you cast popular actors in fictional roles in a movie adaptation of a poem written 2,700 years ago? And a black woman as Helen of Troy, who, according to the same mythology, hatched from an egg that was the result of Zeus turning into a swan and having sex with a goddess, who turned into a goose. You know, white lady stuff. And let me just say, I've been accused of being woke over the years, but I've never been so woke as to be a poem cop. That's right, you're all poem cops. Oh, that's actually not how the poem goes, and if you can't accept that, we're gonna need you to leave the coffee house. Dorks. So you heard them, nobody's gonna see this movie, it's gonna be a box office bust, it's gonna make zero money, and Christopher Nolan will have to go back to making his far-left indie movies like Dunkirk and Batman. That's the lesson of the Trump era. You go woke, you go broke.
It was an epic box office weekend for The Odyssey. Christopher Nolan's take on Homer's ancient Greek poem brought in, listen to this figure, $260 million worldwide. That's huge.
Oh my God, do you know what this means? Woke is back. The last time I get my Hollywood news from MAGA. Most of them haven't seen a movie in the theater since Fast and Furious, and even then they couldn't pay full attention because they were too horned up over their candy. Woo! Snow caps indeed. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, Rolos. All right, you guys. These people their pants over the casting of a fictional movie like they just ate lettuce from Taco Bell. But don't worry. Don't worry. Elon Musk, the world's richest man and weirdest man, seen here recasting Morpheus as a white man, has a foolproof solution. He's going to make a MAGA-friendly version of The Odyssey using a talented group of writers, actors, directors, stagehands, and cinematographers who will come together, and I'm just with you, it's AI.
The Odyssey meets AI. Elon Musk says that Grok will make a full-length, historically accurate film of The Odyssey. Grok is Musk's AI platform. So Musk says that the film will be completed before the end of the year and will be true to the art of Homer, who wrote the epic Greek story.
Wow, I can't wait for that to suck. Elon Musk is going to use fake actors stolen from real actors to make a fake movie that's a real version of a fake story. I'm so excited for the AI dialogue. I hope it's like ChatGPT. Odysseus, you must return home. You got it. I can't wait to embark on this journey with you. Let's keep it light and fun, and I'm here for whatever you need. Also, what do you mean historically accurate? It's not, it's a myth. Are you also making a historically accurate version of the Santa Claus? If Santa fell off the roof, you wouldn't take his place. He would sue you for damages, and if he was smart, use that money to buy crypto. So MAGA predicted The Odyssey would flop, although by now we should know not to trust their predictions, given they also said the Iran war would be a huge success.
We've already knocked out so much of their capability. It looks like this is just a wrap-up mission at this point.
You know the war is going well.
I'm willing to say that this is a done deal.
This time next week, we may be able to declare victory.
Trump has already won in Iran.
The major war is over, and think of this as almost just a mop-up operation.
The majority of this war is over.
You keep telling us how we're winning this war. The president keeps saying,
Well, the war's over
completely
now.
annihilated. The war is not over.
We'll have Iran defeated soon. They'll be defeated very soon.
We're winning militarily. It's almost won militarily, I would say.
I think it's close to over, yeah. I mean, I view it as very close to over.
We've won this. This war has been won.
We've won. Let me tell you, we've won. We won. We won the bet. In the first hour, it was over.
Oh, you won in the first hour? You sound like the Spurs in the NBA Finals. Guys, relax. We're up 29 points. What are they going to do? Use Karl Anthony Towns to block the Strait of Hormuz? Cat could do it, by the way. He has the wingspan to do it. Seriously, what do you mean we won in the first hour? Then what have you been doing for the past 5 months? Post-game interviews while bombs are still going off in the background? You know, we played a great war. Everything went according to the game plan, and it's probably just fans celebrating. I wouldn't worry about that. Pretty loud for a firework, though. War is definitely not over. In fact, it's spiraling further out of control. There doesn't seem to be a plan or an end in sight, although the president doesn't really seem to know what's going on.
Mr. President, there are no signs that Iran is ready to stop fighting. So what is the plan? Is the plan to just keep bombing until they give up?
There are no signs. What, you know something that I don't know? You don't know. You don't know anything.
So talks are
You know
still
something that I
possible,
don't know? Do you know something I don't know?
I don't think he's being sarcastic. I think he's genuinely asking. You know something I don't know? And if you do, would you be willing to whisper it in my ear? Or, barring that, write it down on a tiny piece of folded up paper that I can read later and then pretend I knew it the whole time? Do you? The war is escalating. The strait is closed. Again, ships are being attacked, and the supposed ceasefire Trump just signed last month has already been ripped up. And yet, he keeps insisting that Iran is desperate to settle.
They want to settle so badly. They don't like what we're doing. They want to meet desperately to try and end it. They want to make a deal. I can tell you they want to make a deal.
Behind the scenes, they're desperate to settle. In fact, they're so desperate, they sent me a gift, a beautiful wooden horse. We wheeled it right in it. The horse came up to me, big horse, strong horse, tears pouring from his wooden eyes down onto his wooden snout, and then a tiny little voice from inside his belly said to me, "There's nobody in here." And I said, it's so true. By the way, that's not even that far off from the truth. Trump literally did say at one point that the country he was at war with had sent him a very special gift.
They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. It was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize.
It was a very significant prize. I can't say what it is, but I'll just tell you I'll be having a lot of fun tonight with two guys named Mike and Ike. 1, 2, 3. Nah, you guys are funny. Oh, you got whatever anybody answered, you go out and get it for them. Put it on my tab. I don't have a tab. So the Trump team declared premature victory, and now 5 months later, the war is only getting worse. In fact, Pete Hegseth is asking for more money for the war and facing some very pointed questions from Congress. For example, Georgia Senator Jon Ossoff wanted to know, when Hegseth said Iran's military had been destroyed, what was that all about?
On day 14 of this conflict, Mr. Secretary, day 14, nearly 5 months ago, you stated that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. That was on day 14 of the war. Was that an accurate statement?
They didn't have a Navy any longer. It's completely sunk. But their
Mr. Secretary,
at the lowest level
you
they've
stated
been in a very
that
long time.
on day 14 of this conflict, in the second week of the conflict, you stated that Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. Was that an accurate statement? Yes or no?
Iran's ability to challenge the United States of America at the level at which we're capable of.
That's not what I asked you, Mr. Secretary. You said on day 14, Iran's military had been, quote, destroyed and, quote, made combat ineffective. Yes or no? Was that an accurate statement?
What the American military has
Will you
done
answer
to
the
the
question?
Iranian military is a historic military
Will you
defeat,
answer the
and
question
they're
under
ineffective
oath?
in that context.
There's nothing more terrifying than asking the same question over and over again, like the Terminator. I gotta try that with my kids. Did you eat the cookies? Have I eaten cookies in the past? Yes, I have. Did you eat the cookies? If you're asking me, do I like cookies? I do. Did you eat the cookies? There is a context in which the cookies have been eaten. Trump was clearly not pleased with this line of questioning. During a rally in Georgia, he went after Ossoff with a very, very weird line of attack.
You're terrible, Senator Jon Ossoff. He's terrible. I fought Ossoff before, as you know, and we won. We had a great success against this guy. He reminds me of Pinky Herman. Did you ever see Pinky Herman?
Who the is Pinky Herman? Is that some mobster from Queens who took you under his wing? Pinky taught me everything I know. He used to say, if you really want to show 'em who's boss, fall asleep in meetings. Sorry, do you mean Pee Wee Herman? Because he doesn't look anything like Pee Wee Herman. If anything, I bet the inside of your brain looks like Pee Wee's Playhouse. The same people who predicted a blockbuster movie would flop because it was woke also thought the Iran war would be a fast, overwhelming success, and in both cases they were wrong because they live in a bubble, an alternate reality where M&Ms are sexy, Odysseus was a real guy, and the president is a great dancer, when in reality, when you see Trump dance, it's a reminder that he's
definitely white.
This has been A Closer Look.